I'm going to go see Sue and learn how to make pesto from wild chickweed. What are we going to be doing here?
We're just going to gather a cup and a half,
Okay.
tightly packed, of this stuff.
And this is chickweed.
That's chickweed. There probably isn't a garden around that doesn't have chickweed, but I think you probably find it in meadows too, because when the bison come to visit, I'm sure they leave some seeds behind. And it's an edible plant. There's lots of it. It's not hard to get, and it tastes good.
When we were harvesting the chickweed, it was really interesting that it's just kind of a wild edible that not a lot of people in the north seem to really take advantage of.
We may as well be weeding the garden at the same time, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So are these too big, the ones that I got? Do you want smaller leaves?
No. We don't want big stems, but big leaves are okay. Now we're gonna get some arugula as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you put it in salads and stuff. It's just a green.
This one's almost a little more bitter, but not as strong tasting, if that makes sense.
Oh.
You don't think so?
I didn't try the other one.
It was pretty sweet, the other one.
Oh, was it? Oh, good.
You want to try it? I'm not sure which plant it came off of. I guess it all depends, eh?
There are 3 kinds of arugula out there.
Oh. Well, then it might not be the same.
They're good. Now we have to wash it. And you're just going to dump it in.
All this in there?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Just dump her in.
I'm so worried about it sinking here if it doesn't float.
Oh, yeah.
It's an honor to learn from someone like Sue. Obviously, she's so wise and she has so much experience and is so patient, and I love that.
We probably shouldn't call it pesto.
No?
Because there's no basil in it, and pesto actually is basil. So, while we're doing this, think of a name for it.
That's putting a lot of pressure on me.
Now we have to get a cup and a half of this, packed tightly. So it doesn't matter if we get little stems like that.
Yeah.
But
We
we'll
don't
just
want the big ones.
throw them in. Oh, let's get the arugula in there first. Make sure we've got that in there.
So I'll have to get back to you on the name for this recipe. Maybe we can try to think of it for the dinner.
Oh, good on.
Right?
Yeah, right on.
So what inspired you to come up with this recipe?
I've got lots of chickweed.
Making use of with what you have?
Well, you see, it starts early in the spring. And if you're growing basil, you don't really have enough, at least I don't usually have enough basil until later on in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to make this sort of thing, then you go with what you got. What do you think?
Oh, it's looking like it.
I'd say we've got a cup and a half there.
Yep.
Well, that's a nice big one.
Mm-hmm.
The more garlic, the better. Okay. Half a cup of pine nuts. There we go. Half a teaspoon of, I'll just call it salt. Half cup of extra virgin olive oil. Now we have to process this.
Mm-hmm.
And then after it's all mushy, we put that in.
All right.
So we have to go to the porch. Because you need AC for this thing.
We're still being energy efficient. We're running off solar now.
I get my power mostly from batteries, and the power is provided by solar panels and stored in the batteries. The house is wired for AC and DC, and if I need a lot of power for some reason or other, then I just put on my generator. Okay, I think we could put the rest of it in, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's fluid enough now. Wow.
half a cup of freshly grated Parmesan. Wouldn't that be nice?
Everything's better with cheese.
Here we go, that's half a cup. Now, there are some biscuits over in that cupboard. Why don't you get some and we'll spread a little bit on and see what we've got.
I'm not sure yet what we should call it, but the fresh chickweed was delicious. Those are really good. I really like that. The chickweed and arugula pesto is such a neat